Alright, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you. One lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. In today's lesson, we're going to go into 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 1 on down. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Assyria. Okay, it's talking about America, right? Because Babylon, it stands for Babal. It means confusion. Okay, this ain't ancient Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, this is right here America. Okay, so this place is full of confusion. All right, and throughout this chapter, okay, this is all prophecy right here. Okay, plagues, Yahweh Shai's return. You know, the hyperinflation. It's all in here. Okay, when Esau starts rolling with his martial law, his Gestapo troops, and all that, this is all in here. Okay, so we're gonna see how much we can get in the spirit, because this whole chapter is on the times that we're living in. It's prophecy. All right, woe be unto thee, Egypt, because yeah, it's this is not talking about Egypt over there. Where the ancient Pharaoh was. All right, it's talking about America, because Egypt means bondage, captivity, and all 12 tribes were all here in slavery over here in America at the same time. All right, verse 2, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. You hear that? Okay, one more time. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair, beware your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. See that? So American and thy time has come. Okay, America only has very little time left. Okay, and things are heating up with this war, with Iran, Russia, and all that. Okay, remember, that's not going to slow down. It doesn't matter what Trump says, on that TV, all right, or what you guys, what these people in the world hear about. Okay, KTLA or whatever, Fox News. I remember the Lord's going to destroy this wicked kingdom. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Right? Okay, because the Lord has plagues, judgments for the world. Even 2/3 of His people. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Yeah, because the Lord's really gonna bring nuclear fire. He's gonna set off his ICBM, those missiles, which are His army, and also what? The lasers from the spaceships. Okay, plagues are sent unto you, and what is He that may drive them away? Right. Okay. All right. Plagues are sent unto you, and what is He that may drive them away? Okay. So plagues, right? Plagues, judgments. Okay. And what is He that may drive them away? Right. Okay. Because who can drive off these plagues? Who can escape them? All right. In other words, if someone tries to go under, under the ground, whatever, they try to move out of America, it don't matter, because there's no escape. Remember, nobody's leaving this planet. Huh? All right. May any man drive away an hungry lion and the wood, or may one quench the fire and stubble when it begun to burn? All right. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? Yeah, because once that arrow's shot, okay, it's not coming back. Okay, it's going to its mark. All right. So how much more that is gonna be sent from the Lord, because the Lord's arrows, no one's gonna turn them back, because these are the Lord's, and the angels are protecting them, so ain't no one stopping this thing, because it's from the Lord first and foremost. Okay, so that's no one ain't gonna stop a damn thing, and the angels are right there too. No way, it's 100%. We're just waiting for prophecy to fulfill. You see? The mighty Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai sendeth the plagues. Well, it's not up to the Rothschilds, Illuminati, Freemasons, Jesuits, whatever they, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Exactly. So who's sending the plagues? It's the Lord, because it's time of judgment. All right. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Right. Okay, because ain't no one gonna be able to put out this fire. Like firemen, you call the firemen. There's like a what do you call it? What is that? What is that? Like a house on fire. Okay. All right. Remember, these fires that are coming, no one ain't gonna be able to put it out. All right. So meaning too, what these World War III prophecy. All right. No one's gonna be able. Doesn't matter what kind of peace treaties they come up with. Peace talks. It don't matter. The World War III is about to be full bloom real soon. All right, because no one's gonna stop the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You see? Verse 10, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? Right, okay? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Right, okay? All right, he shall cast lightnings, the Lord, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Right, there was just a 7.7 earthquake that just happened in Japan. All right, so when these things happen, big old tsunamis, all right, big old hurricanes, tornadoes, aren't people afraid? Yeah, it wipes out all their houses, all their communities, all that stuff, right? Right. So you gotta understand that, okay? That's very, very important. Verse 11, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Okay, so this is talking about the chariots, all right, the so-called UFOs, because when the Lord arrives, okay, according to we can go to Isaiah, okay, Isaiah 66, all right, and verse 15 and 16. Okay, so what those scriptures are talking about is the return of our Lord. You see, that is the return of our Lord. All right, his name is what? Yahushai. Okay, his name is Yahushai, not Jesus Christ. So when he returns, what the angels, Okay, and this time that we're approaching, okay, right in the midst of World War III, he's going to come with those spaceships, right? So-called UFOs, all right, the so-called UAPs, to do what? To beam up the elect. Remember Matthew chapter 24, verse 30 and 31. Okay, he's going to gather his elect from, remember, the four corners of the earth. All right, no matter where the elect are, because the elect are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Remember? Okay. What else? Okay. They are going to beam up the elect, and then the wicked, those who are not on the Lord's good side, Yahweh and the angels are going to shoot laser beams on them. Okay, verse 11, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. Okay, so at his presence, see? So when the Lord gets here, as soon as the Lord gets here, okay, as soon as the Lord gets here, he's going to shoot laser beams on his enemies. So that's Isaiah 66 and verse 14. Okay. So what that means is it's saying that it's going to be known out here who the Lord's with, who the Lord is dealing with, and who the Lord is not dealing with. Okay, because it's going to be it's going to be a clear distinguish. Ain't gonna be no scratching your head like, well, shit, man. I wonder if these people right here are good with the Lord. Ain't gonna be no scratching of the head. It's gonna be clear, known. All right, remember that, okay? Because when the chariots arrive with Yahweh, all right, they're gonna do two things. There's gonna be no talking. The Lord's not gonna come back. Hey, let me talk to you guys. You guys are in trouble. Let me talk to you real quick. No, okay. The Lord and the angels are gonna beam up the whole full elect. What else? Okay, they're gonna shoot laser beams on the wicked. So it's gonna be clear out here. Okay, it's gonna be clear out here who the Lord is dealing with. You see? Oh, all right. Verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Okay? Yeah, because you imagine when the Lord arrives, all that power. Okay, look at a tornado, a hurricane, a tsunami, all these hurricanes. So look at all that power. Yeah, so you gotta see how powerful that is, and the Lord controls all that. So imagine when the Lord actually arrives for judgment and vengeance. You imagine? The Lord who created all things. Remember when Yahweh was with his disciples and he took a nap, in the boat, and his disciples were afraid. They said, "Hey, Master," he goes, "we're gonna perish," because the waves were all bolstering. And he goes, "Oh, ye of little faith," and he rebuked the sea. So imagine that the Lord controls that. And the Lord right there just told the sea to just calm down. So imagine when the Lord arrives to kill our enemies. Imagine the Lord he calmed down the sea just at his word, So imagine when the Lord arrives and uses hurricanes and tornadoes, but when it's time to kill and judgment, imagine the Lord has these things going on all the time. But imagine when he arrives, because all power is given to him. St. Matthew 28, at the end of that chapter there. Okay, imagine, so when he controls all that, damn, you gotta really you know, it's words can't even describe. You know, because he controls all things. Huh? Verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Okay? Because who's the right hand of Yahweh? Yahweh Shai. Alright? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Okay, those are specifically talking about the ICBMs. Alright? And shall not miss. Right? Because, you know, when somebody's real accurate, you know, and they're like just, you know, like somebody like a sharpshooter, you know, imagine the Lord and the angels, how accurate they are. Imagine. Okay. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. Okay. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Right, so what arrow do you know can be shot, okay, from one landmass to another, okay, one continent to the other, see? Alright, so this is why they're simply called ICBMs, you know, because they go from one landmass, from one continent to the other, see? Right there. See, so right there in this, I'll read again from the top. 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 13. Okay? 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 13. For strong is his right hand. Yahweh Shai, because remember, us believers, we're on the right hand side. Alright? Yeah, that's right. We're on the right hand side. This whole world, they're on the left hand side vibration. They follow the, they're on a satanic vibration on the left hand side. We're on the right hand side. Yeah, remember that, okay? For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, okay? So that's Yahweh Shai, you know? Remember, because Yahweh Shai is going to come down here, literally, you know? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. So that's the point right there, okay? So right here is talking about the ICBMs, right? So same thing like Joel 2nd chapter. His army is very great. So his arrows, because Trump, these are not your missiles. Putin, those are not your missiles. All right, you gotta understand, you know, the leader of China, the leader of North Korea. All right, you know. Yeah, and you look ridiculous, by the way. You know, that leader from North Korea. You know, you look like a fat meatball. You know, and you're telling me you're a leader. You know, you guys are about to see the real king arrive. Yahweh Shai. Okay, you heathens, you leaders look ridiculous. You know, look like a bunch of meatballs with a suit on. You know? See? You know, the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and the angels are going to put you devils down. Okay, you guys, you know, have your purpose right now for a little bit, but remember, you're gonna get beat down by the house of David. All right, the angels and Yahweh Shai. All you leaders, all you clowns. You know? Oh, absolutely. You know, this is a kingdom, okay, a queendom of goofballs. You know, and it's gonna be a very beautiful day when, you know, when Yahweh Shai, the angels, and 144,000 put you down. You know, and it's gonna be a glorious day. You know. Anyway, all right, the 14th verse. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right. Okay. So ain't no one gonna return anything. You know. Verse 15. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Hey, woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Right, because Esdras he saw this. This is what he's written down. Okay, the Lord gave him these strong visions. So Esdras was like, man, like how am I gonna, what with me, you know? Because Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, Michael shall stand up, the chief archangel, because that's how bad it's gonna be out here. Okay, it's gonna be so bad that it's gonna be so bad that you're not even the angels are gonna have to intervene. Okay, remember, this is why the elect, we need Yahushai. Okay, all right, and the angels. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Okay, remember at the St. Matthew chapter 24 verse 8. Okay, these are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay, it's just the beginning, so people out there that think that the pandemic was bad, back in 2019, 2020, that's nothing. It's really about to be the worst time, remember, the planet Earth has ever experienced. Remember, worse than 70 AD, worse than the flood, and this is it's a very terrible time that we're approaching. Yeah. The beginning of sorrows, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. Okay? Because, now the leaders of the world, they truly don't want to go to war, They truly don't want to go to war. They're, these nations say that, oh, they're at war with each other. But they're over here drinking lattes, over here with a suit on, saying that they're at war. But there's no blood, there's no sweat, It's just like, man, it's something that's like, man, The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Okay, the beginning of famine and great death. Famine, that's very, very important. Okay. Because there's going to be no food, no water, all right, out here. It's very real. And great death, okay, because there's going to be many people out here that are going to be perishing, okay. Remember that there's like a flesh-eating disease, okay, all right. There's like a flesh-eating disease, like a fly. It's going around eating people's flesh, stuff like that. There's like a mosquito who's biting people in the eye and stuff. All right, remember, that's all from the Lord. Imagine, and that's just the beginning. Imagine how much stuff the Lord's about to release. Okay, yeah, people are literally going to be bleeding from their eyes. The Lord has so much stuff out here that He's going to use to judge the wicked. Remember that show, 1,000 Ways to Die? There's way more than that. Way more than that. Okay, remember that, okay? Yep. Alright, yeah, so that, there's like a, like a fly, there's, it's like a flesh-eating little insect out here, eating on human skin. See? And imagine what else is gonna be out there. Remember that last Predator movie, if you guys ever saw it? I forgot what it was called, but it was the last Predator movie. The latest one that came out. All right, okay, that movie right there. Remember when it was like Planet Doom, and there's like all these there's all these plants and stuff, like dragons. That's how it's gonna be. There's spirits created for vengeance out here. Okay, there's bears, attacking American troops in Alaska. All right, yeah, remember, the Lord is gonna take out our enemies in many ways. You know, insects, disease, pestilence, the bears. Remember, the animals are major. Okay, the Lord told them that they're going to feast. You know, the birds, you know, the bears, the mountain lions, the coyotes, they're about to feast on a lot of these simpletons out here. You know, it's very real. You know, it's very real. It's very real. Okay. All right, but remember, like that. I forgot what they called it, but it was that latest Predator movie. Okay. Like that whole planet. You know, they that whole planet. What happened was, you know, like the plants were dangerous. There was like dragons. You know. So that's how the Lord is gonna turn this earth. Okay. You know, just until all the wicked are consumed, you know, until Yahushai and the angels, all right, get here. Yep. So remember that there's newly created creatures that this earth has never seen. Okay, because there's some fishes that are being, you know, washed up on the shore, and they are, you know, like, hey, this fish looks like it's from like the ancient world, you know? They never seen it before. Remember, there's a lot of stuff out here that people have never even seen before, you know? But they're about to, you see? And the Lord is going to have his elect protected from all this stuff out here, okay? From these, you know, that don't mean, because remember, the elect still got to go through their trials, but all this is for the wicked. You gotta understand that, you know, the elect are gonna be protected from all that out here. Okay. All right. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, meaning bad times. Okay, and that's where it's at right there. Okay, because you know, with all these wars, okay, you got corrupt politicians, corrupt presidents, all that. Okay, it's just gonna bring bad times, you know. New laws, they're trying to bring in that new world order. All right, you know. So it's just gonna bring in bad times, you know. The cost of food is gonna go up, you know. Then we're approaching a time where there's gonna be no more food out here. Okay, imagine that, you know, where food's so expensive that you can't afford it. Okay, well, how much more when it's so scarce and there's nothing left? You know, because there's nothing but wars. Okay, remember, once Russia and China, Iran, once they invade America, remember, they got a lot of sleeper cells already here, ready to rock and roll in this place, you know? But remember, once these wars start happening, you're not gonna have your daily shipments just regular, you know? Because it's all gonna stop. You have to understand that, you know, because once these civil war starts, American versus American, okay, you know, this place will be invaded by a foreign troop. You got to understand that, okay? Once that happens, you know, people, you think regular truck drivers and shipments are just going to be driving around here like a normal day when there's missiles being shot off and soldiers on the ground? Nah, you're not going to be able to do anything. You understand? You're not going to be able to, you know, go to your local grocery stores and just, all right, honey, I'll be right back. No. Okay? Everything's about to be shut down. Huh? Everything is about to be shut down. You know? You think people are going to be going to these, you know, to the ports and all that when there's Russians and Chinese there? No way, you know? All right, so this is it's very important, you know. It's very very important, you know, that you know, you have to understand the times that are approaching, you know. So this is why we have to fully put our trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? All right. Yeah. The beginning of evils, that means bad times. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? Okay. Okay. So This is Ezra saying, man, remember saying, woe is me. What shall I do? Because, you know, it's going to be, for especially those that don't have the Lord with them on their side, they're going to be completely through out here. 100% consumed. Okay? Verse 19. All right. Let's go ahead and get it. Behold, famine. Okay, so this is talking about the lack of bread, the lack of water. Okay? There's gonna be no food, not even no information. Okay, out here. You gotta understand that. No information, no internet, no power. Okay? And plague. Okay? There's gonna be a lot of plagues out here. The ICBM is a major. You know, what else? You know, what else you got out here? You know, pestilence. Okay? You know, there's going to be major, you know, plagues. Remember the Lord said, okay, I'm going to plague Egypt with plagues as before. Okay? The Lord can be taking out everybody's firstborn. Who knows? Okay? The Lord's really going to jack up America very bad. Very bad? Very bad. Very bad. You see? Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Yeah, because 2/3 of our people, they don't even consider. Okay? They don't even consider. They, you know, they're just, you know how it is. You know? They just, you know, they're all about, you know, the bag and the money, and, you know, it's just, you know, they don't have 2 seconds for the Lord. And that's one thing that, you know, we can give testimony, because when we're out there, you know, in the highways and byways, you know, you got to understand that, you know, people don't care for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, they may say, God bless you, but they don't even know the Lord's name. They're not truly interested in the truth, you know. Are people, you know, actually like, you know, interested in the truth? Not much, you know. Not much. All right. All right, verse 21. But victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Okay? Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Alright, so listen up. This is you know, this is the time that we're in right now. Verse 21. Verse 21. But behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. So let's establish that right now. Victuals meaning what? Okay, your basic essentials to survive, groceries, water. Okay, you know, things that you need in order to survive. You see? Okay, so what do you need to survive? Clothes. Okay, food, water, right? Whatever. Okay, whatever is let's see here. Alright, 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. Okay, so that's your daily expense, you know, your daily like your basic essentials to survive. Okay, food, water, taking the children to school if you pay for a school, you know, things like that, things that you need, you know. Okay, so what that you know, what that does right now to people is because they assume that things are all right. Why? Because you can still afford, the apartments. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but you can still find something out there, But people think that, all right, they're still in a good case because, like, yeah, it's, gas is a little expensive, but you can still get through it, The kids can still go to Disneyland, the children and them. Okay. All right. So, things are a little expensive, but people are still able to go around and do things, So people think that, oh, things are still, it's going to be okay. So people think, it's going to be all right. Things always work themselves out. They always do. Not this time. Okay. So by that right there is, the people out here are just kind of like, oh, it's fine, because when they look around, they're like, oh, it's not too bad. Yeah, I got the children in school, come on, I got the happy wife, happy life, we got the new car, we got the new Acura on the driveway. It's gonna be fine. What the hell is, what are these prophets talking about? See, but it's the Lord. Remember, it's the message. See, because this is not our word. It's Yahweh Shem Shai. See, no? Check this out. All right, that they, the majority of people in this world, okay, now not just America, okay, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. See? Because by, it's a little expensive, but, you're still able to, go to the park, do things, do stuff like that, right? Right, you're still able to, you might say, oh, it's a little, things are, a little expensive, but you're still able to get your daily groceries. You still have a roof over your head, right? Okay, so people are like, oh, it's, we're still, we're making it, So people think that it's gonna be all right, just by these things being available, still. See, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, bad times, okay, because there's things happening behind the scenes that the majority of the world does not know about. Okay, it's gonna grow. Huh? Sword, so wars. Okay. Well, just take a look around the world. Look at how many wars have started since Trump been in office. All right, and these wars are just escalating more and more. So sword, wars. Okay, the draft. See, it's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, famine. That is a major right there. Okay, so famine is what? Okay, no food, no water. All right, it's very, very important. Okay, no food, no water. Imagine. Also what? Famine of the word. Okay? Famine of the word. You got to really, understand that. You have to really understand that, because people won't be able to, go on the internet, go on, TV or whatever, and see, okay, what's the weather gonna be like? Okay, like when you want to go visit a friend, a family member, you got a new job, and they send you the address, that's gonna be obsolete because the internet is about to be cut off out here. All right, the power, EMP, electric magnetic pulse. Okay, yeah. All right, it's very real. Okay, it's very real, and great confusion. There it is. Okay, so this is why another name for America. All right, so great confusion, because that's what America is. There's great confusion here. Okay, great confusion, absolutely. Because people are, they're believing in all this madness. Okay, you got men chopping off their rods, trying to be women, women trying to be men. With all this dyke and all this bull crap. Right, this place is nothing but confusion. You see? All right. Oh, here we go. Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. So many of them. So remember, a lot of people are getting ready to starve out. A lot of people are getting ready to starve to death. Imagine. Many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. All right. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Meaning wars, okay, civil wars, militias being activated. You see? All right, so that's what the time that, that is right here at our doorstep, Akim and Aqua. You gotta really understand that the Lord's He's not playing around. Although these these leaders of the world sometimes, they may have their peace talks or whatever. Remember, the Lord's very upset, very displeased. And He's not at all going to spare any. Only His hopeful elect and those who He wants for His first crops into slavery. But after that, other than that, everybody else is going to be slain. They're going to be judgment is going to be executed out here swiftly. Because the Lord, He's very, very upset. You gotta understand this. So that's it on part 1 on 2nd Esdras, 16th chapter. All right, Lord willing, later on I'll go into part 2. That way I can just, we'll get all this meat off this bone. Okay, because there's a whole lot to be said here in the 16th chapter. So with that, keep enduring and trust in the Lord. Remember, Proverbs chapter 3. Okay, lean not to thy own understanding. When you're battling Satan, when you're battling these unclean spirits, whatever you're battling, remember, trust in the Lord. Okay, remember all these scriptures. All right, what are you gonna do? Okay, call on the names. Are you calling on the names? Are you praying? Are you fasting? Are you trusting in Him? Are you getting impatient? Remember, you gotta put on as the elect. All right, not just hear the word. Remember, this is an everyday thing. Remember that the Lord gave us these tools, these weapons to combat, these evil spirits out here. Remember, there are wicked spirits, unclean spirits out here. All right, so with that, on your feet, soldier. Until next time, shalom.